Hey guys, and welcome back. Today, or yesterday, should I say, or 2 days ago, was the end of the MLB regular season, and the playoff situation became set in stone. So we are going to go into it, especially as my New York Yankees are tonight at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, playing the Minnesota Twins in the AL wildcard game. So this is huge. The Yankees, with a young team, have built through the farm system and are rolling in. I really hope they beat the Twins tonight. We have Luis Severino starting against Irvin Santana for tonight. I really hope it goes well. I'm going to be glued to my TV screen watching this game. I will not be leaving my seat for those 3 hours. Regardless of what happens, I don't care. I won't be moving my butt from my chair. I do think the Yankees will win this game. I'm going to say 5-3. I think that's a good margin of victory. But yeah, that's about what I think will happen. The NL wildcard game is a very interesting game that also happens tonight after the Yankees and the Twins. It is the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. This is a huge game. This is a real toss-up. It's going to be, I believe, Zach Greinke. And I'd have to check who the Rocky starting pitcher is. I'm not sure off the top of my head. But anyway, you know what? I can go check that. That's why I have the magic of computers here. Wait, what am I doing? No. That's for tomorrow. Oh, no, wait a minute. Sorry, guys. The Rockies and Diamondbacks is tomorrow. It's Jon Gray and Zach Greinke. I do think the Diamondbacks will pull this game out. It's going to be, I think, high scoring, at least on the Diamondback side. Of course, Colorado has an explosive offense, so it could be that way too. But I think I'm going to say 7-4 in favor of the Diamondbacks. I do think they'll move on, but it's going to be tough to figure out. But anyway, then we will get into the division series as with the Diamondbacks and the Yankees moving on. Our first series is the Astros and the Red Sox. This is probably going to be one of the most interesting series. The AL series are all going to be very good this year. We have 4 great teams who I think are going to be in it. First, the Red Sox and the Astros. I do think the Astros will take this game in, 5? Yeah, game 5. I think they will take it in 5. Over the Red Sox, 3-2. Then we have the Indians and the wild card winner, who I think will be the New York Yankees. And unfortunately, I think the New York Yankees will lose in the divisional series this year. Also, I'm going to say it's going to go, I want to say 5 games, but I think it'll end up only going 4 games, 3-1, maybe 3-2 in favor of the Indians. But it's going to go the Indians' way. So the Indians and the Astros will be the AL Championship Series matchup this year. We will jump into the NL, which the first series is the Cubs and the Nationals, which is a very interesting series. We have last year's World Series champions against a powerhouse team from the NL East. This is going to be a really tough series to decide. It's, I think, definitely going to go 5 games, but it's a complete toss-up as to who's going to win the series. Whoever is the better team on the day in Game 5. That is going to be who wins this series. So I am going to say it is going to be the Cubs this year. I think next year maybe the Nationals will get their way, but I think this year the Cubs still have just enough magic to move on to the ALCS once again. Now, the Dodgers and the wild card winner, which I believe will be the Diamondbacks, will also play, and I believe the Dodgers will win this series convincingly 3-1. So that'll move on. It'll be the Dodgers and the Cubs. A great matchup for the NLCS. And once we get there, we will have the Dodgers and the Cubs this year, and we will have the Indians and the Astros. So for fans of Cleveland, Houston, LA Dodgers, and the Chicago Cubs, congratulations. I think your teams are moving on to the ALCS and the NLCS respectively. Now, in those series, it's going to be really tough. I think both series will easily go to 7 games. This is just the way I think it'll pan out, or at least 6. That's just the teams are so tight this year but it's interesting. The Indians and the Astros, I think, is definitely going 7 games. It's going to be really, really tough, but I think the Indians will edge it out just because the Astros pitching has been a little shaky this year, despite their good records and despite the starters' decent consistency. The Indians have 3 17-game winners this year. 3. I believe it's Kluber, Carrasco, and Tomlin off the top of my head. And they've all got ERAs, I believe, of under 3.5. If I'm correct, I think I am. It might even be under 3. But I'm pretty sure it's all under 3.5. They're definitely under 4. So they have a top 3 right there. That's basically 1, 2, 3. They have a chance to win the first 3 games of any series easily with those 3 pitchers on the mound this year. So it makes it really tough for any other team because most teams have a 1-2 punch. The Indians have a 1-2-3 punch, and their 4 and 5 aren't that bad either. And of course, they have Andrew Miller, the freak in the bullpen. So yeah, they're looking pretty damn good. And the Indians, I predict, will be going back to the World Series once again. Now, this year, unfortunately for the Cubs, I don't think they're going to move on to the World Series again. I think they're going to come close. I think it'll go down to 7 games, just like in the ALCS. But I think the Dodgers will come out on top, because I think if it comes down to 7 games and it is Kershaw on the mound, I don't know who's going to be able to touch him in Game 7. I think he's just going to be so spot on and in the zone, he's going to be unhittable. I mean, he'll give a couple hits, maybe a run or 2, but I think he's just going to shut down the Cubs if it comes down to a Game 7 scenario. So, and to be put in that position is going to be very hard for the Cubs to be possibly the best pitcher to step on the mound in a long, long time in the MLB. So, I do have the Dodgers and the Indians in my World Series this year. That is my prediction now as the season has come to a close. In the end, about a month ago or so, I said it'd be Dodgers and Astros. So it's pretty close to what is going to be. My only difference is I have a different team in the ALCS this time. I think I had the Dodgers and the Cubs in the NLCS when I said this a month ago. So I did not have the Yankees, I don't think, but I think I might have. Anyway, it's going to be Dodgers and Indians. I do think this is the Indians' year, though. Despite Clayton Kershaw and Alex Wood and Yu Darvish, now that I think about it, the Dodgers also have a 1-2-3 punch, and they have Ryu. That's almost a 1-2-3-4 punch. But they have 3 legitimate aces, just like the Indians do, in Darvish, Alex Wood, and Clayton Kershaw. And they have, I think, another 2 guy in Ryu, who's very, very good. I forget who their 5th man is, but in the end, it's going to come down to those 4. So it's going to come down to who has the better pitching nights in the World Series. I think it will also go 7 games, but it's going to go either way. My prediction, it's a toss-up. Come on, guys. Game 7, it's going to be who's ever on that night in Game 7, because I think Game 7 is going to come down to Clayton Kershaw and Corey Kluber on the mound, fighting it out to win the World Series. That is going to be an epic duel if it happens. I would absolutely love to see it. I think it would be possibly the best way to end the MLB season. Probably the best pitcher in the AL this year and the best pitcher in the NL this year, fighting it out for supremacy, and 2 of the best offenses this year also fighting it out for supremacy in 1-game showdown for all the marbles. I think that's what's going to happen. Who is going to win? I don't know. I legitimately don't know. Whatever guess I take is going to be an absolute stab in the dark between these 2 teams. It's going to be who's ever on that night between Kluber and Kershaw. One of them is an off night. I think the other team's going to win. But it's same vice versa. But if they're both on, it's going to come down to which offense can figure out the pitcher better. So, but both pitchers have been so dominant. Man, it's so hard to make a pick between these 2 teams. They're both so good. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate from some people for leaving out the Cubs. I know so many people wanted to see them repeat. I just don't see it happening this year. I mean, they're good. I see them making it to the championship game, so that's pretty far and pretty good for a World Series repeat run. But I do see them coming up just short, and hey, maybe they can make it over the Dodgers. But I don't think it's going to happen. So my pick for the World Series this year is the Dodgers. That is going to be my pick. Please take this pick with a grain of salt. It could be very, very different. any of the 4 teams, Dodgers, Astros, Indians, and Cubs, I think could win the World Series, but the Dodgers will be my pick. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want, I can do a video with a breakdown of the big stats and the big names and a big summary of the MLB season. I thought I'd get my playoff predictions out there officially now that the season has come to an end and the playoffs are set. I thought I'd get my predictions out there. So I will wrap this up and we will head in to our NHL video where we will do our NHL playoff predictions, our early predictions, and I will get into that with you guys. So please like, please subscribe, please subscribe. I want to grow this channel into something amazing and something great that is awesome for everyone, especially me, but for you guys. So I will see you guys next time. Signing off, King Richard. I really need to get a crown. I'll get that when I go away. I'll find some little. Maybe I'll get a crown from Burger King or something. That would be pretty cool. But I would like to find one because that'd be pretty awesome. All right, I'll see you guys next time.